Hi there, I'm going to talk about using Webcam Toy and Google Drawings to create something called comic slips. And these are really exit slips in comic format. And I love using Webcam Toy because one of the options is that you can make yourself look like a comic, but there's one in particular that makes it look like a comic book. So I'm going to click on normal here. When I do that, it pops up with lots of different options. Don't mind me, I'm looking at a screen over here, so that's why it might look a little weird. Anyway, I'm going to switch screens here and switch the menu until I find one that looks like comics. I might have clicked too much. Spy cam, that's pretty cool. There it is, there's comic book, but I want this one called comic strip, and here's the reason why I want it. Because what it'll do when I select it is it's going to take 4 pictures, and it's going to do it all consecutively. So I'm going to press on the gear here. It's going to do a countdown between each one. And it's going to, I'm going to leave these settings the way they are actually. So it's going to do a countdown, and then between each one, it'll even do a countdown as I take the pictures. So for this exit slip, I decided I was going to do today I learned and I'm still confused by. So in this first box here, it's going to say today I learned, and it's going to say what they learned here. And then here it's going to say I'm still confused by, and they'll say what they're confused by here. So it's a fun way to do an exit slip, and it's in comic form. So here we go. You're going to want to think, and you're going to want the students to think about how they want their face to look. Anyway, I'm going to hit the save button here. It's going to ask me where I want to save it. I'm going to save it just to my downloads, or I could save it in my Google Drive somewhere. That's fine too. Once I get it saved, then I can decide where I want to put it. Okay, so I'm actually just going to keep this one in my downloads. Probably a better practice is actually to put it in a folder in my drive and decide where I want to do it. Actually, I think I do have a comics folder in here. And there it is. So I'm just going to use my comics folder. That's a good spot for it. Okay, and I'm going to call this Comic Slips 1. Hit open. It's going to go into comics. It's going to ask me to save then next. All right, that's saved. Now I can go straight to my Google Drawings here, and I'm going to do insert, and I'm going to do image. I'm going to find my image. It's in Google Drawings here, or I should say it's in my Google Drive. I'm going to find my Google Drive here and go to my drive. I'm going to go to recent. I love the recent option in my drive because then it shows any recent photos that I put in, and there it is right there. So I'm going to select it. And now I am free to do this comic. Now, a good thing to do maybe at the top is maybe put a little banner saying what the lesson was really about, or even the date. So you could do that. So to do that, I could do a shape like so. And you could center it like so. And you can change the font to however you want. I'm just going to double click in the box so I can type. I'm going to say today is about comics in Google Drawings. Okay, that's terrible, but that's okay. All right. Then I can go ahead and insert a shape. And when I go to the shape and I go to the callouts, I can choose a speech bubble or a thought bubble. And I'm going to put a speech bubble right here. And I'm going to grab the yellow dot there to change where it's coming out. If I double click in here, I can type, I can change the font, I can make it look however I want. I can also change the color of the box if I want. I need Comic Sans though, because it is a comic, you know. And let's see here. I need to change the color. I'm going to choose the paint bucket here. I'm going to make it yellow. That's fun. And you can change the outline color too. It's already black. I'm going to keep it black, but I'm going to make it a little thicker. How about that? I'm going to double click in here. I'm going to say that today I learned. And so once you have that in, then what you can do is you can do this nifty little trick. And if I hold down the control button and I click on it and I grab a hold of it and click and drag like so, it'll actually copy it exactly as it is. I don't have to change the attributes. So there we go. I have a copy of it. The thing is right over my face. That box is a little small, but that's okay. It's just for fun. I could say what I learned. Okay, now that I have my drawing finished, I have the title, I have my boxes in, and I'm all done. And so now it's nice and saved. So I could easily upload this into Google Classroom or whatever learning management system my teacher is using. And that is how you can create an exit ticket using Webcam Toy and Google Drawings and create what's really called a comic slip.